everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Fragrance with Wilson, and today I'm gonna go over my massive haul for July. So these are a lot of the fragrances that I picked up, so if you want to see me discuss over 20 perfumes here today, just keep on watching. Alright, so just to recap, last month I have a few perfumes that I didn't unbox yet, or they didn't come in time for that video, so I am going to include them in this video. And I have been able to kind of try and test a lot of these fragrances in the last month. Some I just bought a few days ago, so I only have a few days wear with those, but I will discuss them and give you my first impressions and thoughts on them. And then in regards to notes today, I don't think I'm going to go into detail with notes just because it's so many perfumes and I don't want this video to get too long. So okay, so the first one here is, I can't say the name, so sorry guys, but this is a very popular Dolce & Gabbana perfume that I think I've seen a lot of people here on YouTube and other places talk about this, and it's a super affordable perfume. So it's actually I think a eau de toilette, but it's still actually great performance. And at Sephora, I think these are priced at like $80, I think $80 to $90, but you can get it at discounters like Joma Shop for I think $30. So I was able to pick this up in June, and I got a few wears out of it. It's definitely a great fragrance for now in the summertime, and yeah, I really like it. And I would say I like to layer it more just because I think it kind of dissipates after just a few hours. So if you're willing to kind of top it off or layer with something else, then I think you can get a really good wear out of it. So that is that one. Okay, so this is Mont Blanc Signature. I also picked this up in June, but it was just in its box, so I didn't get to talk about it in that video. I have tried it a few times, and this was a blind buy, so it's good, it's okay, not my favorite, so I haven't really grabbed for it. I'm really glad that I just got the smaller size, but I think in the next few months I'm going to try to give it like an honest wear and give you guys some feedback on it. But it's pleasant. I don't, I'm not wowed by it, but it's something I'm okay to have in my collection and see how it goes, especially since it's a smaller packaging. So yeah, I will definitely give more feedback if I have it in the next couple months. Oh, and I also wanted to mention that this is super affordable as well, so definitely under 30 bucks I think is what I picked this up for. All right, so this is another affordable pickup that I got from Joma Shop. I think the brand is called Princess of Arabia, I think is, yeah, so the brand is Princess of Arabia, and this is I think Prive Rose, what it's called. It has a few other names, so if you're interested, just screenshot and I'll leave a link down below. But this was, I think, very affordable. It was like $24 for this very large packaging. So this was described to be like a less sharper version of Delina, so it's like a really pretty rose fragrance, and I like it. I really do like it, but I just found it to be a little bit too strong for me personally, so I actually gave it to my mom and gifted it to her, and she loves it. I don't know what it is, but it smells so much better on her, and so it goes to show that your body chemistry might have something to do with it. So she's been wearing it a lot. She made actually a pretty decent dent in it, if you can see. So this is hers, but she's been like literally wearing it almost every night. So yeah, I like it, but I like smelling it on other people, so that's one thing I guess I could say. The packaging, like I said, is super beautiful, and look at the cap there. But I'm a fan of Delina, so I don't know why I went for alternative, like, because I don't find it to be too sharp. But again, if you do find Delina a little bit too sharp and headache inducing, then maybe try this one as an alternative. They're not identical by any means, but I think if you like a rose, then you might like this. Alright, so the next one is Infini Rose by Maison Alhambra, and so this is a dupe for Anisio's Atomic Rose. In June, I had actually a decant sample of Anisio's Atomic Rose, and I absolutely loved it. I put it on my wish list immediately, and I wanted to buy it, but I came to the price tag of $300 something, so I said absolutely not. I'm not doing that right now. And so I did some research, and I actually found this dupe, and the notes are absolutely identical. They wear really well. Like, you spray this on and you can actually see the oil concentration on your skin. So I'd say this is an amazing fragrance for the value, and they're very close. So if you want to maybe go through this and see if you really like the fragrance and then you want to invest, I'd say that's a pretty smart idea to do. And honestly, this is a great experience. I think it's such a great bottle. It's a great fragrance and I like it. So I definitely think after I finish this one, I'll see about getting the Atomic Rose or just repurchasing this one. But I also wanted to mention that if you want to know kind of what Atomic Rose and this one would smell like, it's, if you like the family of Delina, you like that DNA, it's not identical. You almost kind of smell the same rose in it, I would say, like the original Delina. So if you're a fan of the original Delina like me, because you can always hear me talking about it, then I think you would like this. So try a decant, try a sample of the original Atomic Rose, because I don't think you'll find one of this. But if you like that, then I think try this if you're not willing to spend, you know, the $300. All right, so the next few fragrances I'm going to talk about, I actually picked up from TJ Maxx. So my local TJ Maxx had Versace's Yellow Diamond in the Eau de Toilette. So I love this fragrance. I had the Eau de Perfume in my collection for quite some time, but it ran out and I never repurchased. So yeah, I got this for I think $30, $34 maybe. So I am happy to have it back in my collection. This is, I believe, like a 1 ounce bottle. So I think it's a great value for the price. And I was going to say, this is very similar to like Marc Jacobs Oh So Fresh, I believe. That's what I always compare it to. So if you like that DNA, I think you'll like this too if you haven't tried this, but it was such a great price at TJ Maxx. Okay, so this is the next one that I got from TJ Maxx, and it's from the brand Le Monde Gourmand, I believe. And this is a 2.5 fluid ounces, 75 ml, and this was I think $20 if I'm not mistaken. I think the original price is compared to like $30 for this size, and this was beautiful. Like, I actually feel like this smells way more expensive than it actually is. You can find these on like Amazon and online as well for also very affordable, no more than that $30 price point, I believe, but this was a great value. And this has, I believe, honey, mandarin, and a few other notes, and I just think it's like such an easy grab for right now, and I think you could even layer it and wear it into like fall. So I think this would be like a great transitional fragrance. But yeah, this is a great one and I'm excited to have it, and it was very affordable, so definitely check it out. Could focus. Okay, so this is the next one that I got from TJ Maxx, and that is the name of it. This was a little bit hard to find because I was trying to find notes on it when I was shopping, but I think the bottle has changed over several times, so this is the one that I got. There's no price tag on here, but I actually noticed this is actually made in the UAE, if it would focus. But anyways, so yeah, this was a great quality perfume for the price. I think this was $15, maybe $16, and it kind of reminds me of like a soapier, cleaner Mont, if that makes any sense. This has like bergamot, rose, grapefruit, red currant, vetiver, patchouli, ylang ylang. So yeah, I think this actually smells very expensive, and I'm very glad to add it to my collection. So that is this. Okay, so this is the last one that I picked up from TJ Maxx, and I actually didn't pick it up the same day as the other three. I had sprayed this on my arm while I was shopping, and I decided to not go with this one. The opening was okay to me. It just smelled kind of comparable to like a body mist. In the opening is like a candied apple, spiced pear, and in the middle is caramel sugar, sage leaf, and then the base is a coconut milk and a vanilla cookie. So I was more intrigued about the like coconut milk and vanilla cookie, and I thought that would be a little bit more of the fragrance. But after this sat on my skin, I really did like it, so much so that I went back and got it the next day. So that is that one, and it's called the Good Scent Manifest Your Future, and I think this will be a really, really good one for fall. I think I'll probably layer it maybe with like a vanilla 28 to just make it feel a little bit more complex and just a little bit more interesting. But it's a great fragrance, and for the value, so I think I paid what, $14.99 for it. So yeah, amazing price for what you get. Alright, so the next few fragrances are going to be from the Nordstrom anniversary sale that recently went on. So I got a few gift sets. So this is Burberry Her, the original, and I've gone through quite a few bottles of this. I want to say I've gone through maybe 3 bottles this size, a few other bottles in another size, and right now I am almost finished with a 5-ounce bottle that I've had for a little over a year and a half. So this is probably my most used fragrance over the years, and so I definitely wanted to pick a bottle at a great price point. I think the gift set for this size and a lotion was $88, so I went ahead and picked this one up, and I even got my mom a set because she loves this fragrance as well. So here is Burberry Her. Here is the lotion that came with it, so I'll add some b-roll maybe of how the gift set looks like just so you guys can see it. Alright, so the next one that I picked up during the Nordstrom anniversary sale in a gift pack was Chloe by Chloe. So this is a beautiful scent. I had sampled it actually quite recently before purchasing it at Sephora, and I put it on my wish list, and it is a beautiful scent and I like it. I think it's an easy grab, especially for right now. But I want to say that I'm very disappointed in the packaging. So the set that I got came with this size and a travel size. I went ahead and just gave the travel size to my mom, but I don't know if you guys can see that, but do you see the tarnishing already happening? And it's only been less than a month with this, like maybe 3 weeks, and the cap is horrible. It's like feels like very light and plasticky. I don't like it at all. And yeah, the ribbon is not that great. So this is nice. It's a beautiful scent. I'm not in love, like oh my god, so obsessed how I am with like Burberry, where I'll constantly keep buying that. I think maybe I'll get through this and I don't think I'll be adding it back to my collection. So that is Chloe by Chloe. Alright, so the last fragrance that I was able to pick up on the Nordstrom anniversary sale was Donna Born in Roma Intense by Valentino, and I actually had sampled this a few days prior, so I was very familiar with the scent. I had put it on my wish list after wearing it for about a day, and I was very happy to see that it went on sale, so I just kind of snagged the deal. And I paid $136 for a 3.4 ounce, which is what I'm holding, and then also it came with a 1 ounce, which I thought was great. And it was like a $240 value. So yeah, great deal. I think you get a lot of perfume for that price. I was happy to add this. I do think this is better for fall winter. I think the original Donna Born in Roma is great for right now, just because it has more of that like bergamot opening, feels a little bit more fresher. This feels a little more deeper, and so I think it's going to be better suited for fall and winter. So yeah, happy to add this to my collection. Alright, so here is the next one. There is the name. And so this was a gift from a family member that had traveled to Dubai and brought back some fragrances for me and my mom. And this is the one that they got for me. So I really like it. The packaging was absolutely amazing. I think I have like an unboxing short on this channel, so you can go back and take a look at that, and I talk about the notes in there. But this is great. It's very fresh, fruity. Middle Eastern fragrances are great value. Usually they last all day and they smell really high quality. So yeah, that is this one. Alright, so the next few fragrances are from the house of Kayali, and first up is a 50 ml of the Vanilla 28 that I had to get because I am almost finished with my 10 ml, and so I've had the 10 ml for quite some time, but as you may have heard, I wasn't a fan of Vanilla 28 when I first got it, so I didn't know what to expect. It was a blind buy at the time, but I was okay to just get the 10 ml, and I wasn't a fan of it 100%, so I had let it sit for quite some time and recently revisited it in the last 2 months, and I've been wearing it nonstop. I wear it as bedtime scent, I'll wear it underneath other fragrances, and I'm really excited to start to wear it actually even more in fall and winter because I think it's like such a perfect base, and it actually smells really good by itself. So I was gonna hold off for a bigger sale with Kayali. They actually had a recent sale, but it didn't include this. But I went ahead and just got this with the points that I had because, as you guys know, this gets better when it sits, so I do want it to be ready, you know, when I start to wear it more in fall and winter. So yeah, that is Kayali Vanilla 28. So I also had to pick up a bigger size of Deja Vu White Flower 57. Same thing, I had the 10 ml, and I actually was wearing them together quite a lot, of Vanilla 28 and Deja Vu. So I just felt like it was a must. I had to get a bigger version. I was running through the 10 mls really quickly, so I definitely wanted to just get these two in my collection in the bigger size. So that is Deja Vu White Flower. So the next ones are new releases from the house of Kayali, so the Wedding Silk Santal 36 and the Velvet Santal 35. So I was actually able to get a hold of these samples very early, I believe the end of June, when I ordered the new bottle of Yum that I got, my backup bottle. They had included the samples for free because it was a qualifying order, and you could also order at that time, I think for like $4 each. They were selling the samples. So I was able to test out the samples, and a lot of mixed reviews on this fragrance, or the fragrances rather, and I definitely needed to sit with it for a long time to really get my opinion, because I'll say I was like I didn't know what to expect when I first smelled them, and so on paper I thought they were okay, and so that's how I first sampled it the first day that I got the testers, and I thought they were okay. They dried down really beautifully. Then the next day I tried it on skin, I liked them even better, and then I went ahead when it did release and I got these bottles to start with. So I actually started with the Silk Santal. I didn't think I was was gonna get the velvet because I wasn't in love with it, but you know, I sat with it a little bit more and it definitely was like calming, and I liked how they layered both together. I think these are ideal together, so I was really happy. And then obviously you could see like this silk Santal is really getting a dent on it, and so this is my favorite. If you haven't noticed, this is my all-time favorite, and so much so that I got a backup bottle of the 10 ml. Because I'm really sad, if you guys hadn't noticed, that this is sold out and I don't know when they're restocking or if they're restocking. So it's a little bit unfortunate, but since this does remind me of Deja Vu and Vanilla 28 mixed together, I'm actually not that upset because, you know, I feel like I'm gonna be able to get that same vibe with it. I think even if you mix like Musk 12 with it, I'm not saying it's identical, but I do feel that there are similar fragrances that you can mix together to get that kind of vibe. But it is a beautiful scent, and if they do restock, I definitely see myself getting the 50 ml. So that is the Silk Santal and Velvet Santal from Kayali. Okay, the next fragrance is from Zara, and this is the Golden Decade. And so this is inspired by Libre by YSL, the intense version. And I will say that I would say they're about 80% close. There's something missing in this one that I really enjoy in the original. I just got this because I am running low on my Libre Intense, so I do want to go ahead and pick up a bigger version of that. So in the meantime, if I do run through the original, I have this as a backup. So I think for the price point, it's a great value and it's still a good fragrance. The next one is also from Zara, and this is Red Temptation. Another inspired by, so a lot of people compare this to Baccarat Rouge 540, and I would have to agree. I think they are very, very close. This one, I mean, the original Baccarat Rouge doesn't last long on me personally. I don't know what it is. I know people say, oh, it lasts forever and ever, but I have just decants of it, so maybe that's why. If I had a full bottle and I was able to kind of like aggressively spray with it, maybe I have a better experience. But you know, I love the DNA, and I actually have a roller of this one and I use it a lot to layer, so I just decided to get a spray of it just for when I want that DNA. Dossier actually has a really great dupe for Baccarat Rouge. I had that as well and ran through it. It was a bedtime scent for quite some time, and so I probably see myself using this one as like a house spray, or like a spray that I use in the house and a bedtime scent. So anyways, that's Red Temptation by Zara. Alright, so the next fragrance is YSL Libre Le Parfum. So I was talking earlier about the intense version. So the intense version that I have, that Libre Intense, is in this size, so I'm definitely going to get a size bigger. But since I'm starting with this flanker, I wanted to start with a smaller one. I do really like it. I think I'm going to get a lot of use out of it in fall, winter. But yeah, it has honey and saffron, which is a little bit different than the intense one, so I really like that, and I think it's going to be a great one for fall and winter, so I'm excited about that. So the next one is from Mizensir, and it's Treasure, and this was a 5 ml decant from Scent Split, as you can see here, and I absolutely love this fragrance. It's 100% on my wish list. I absolutely love it, and I actually started off with a 2 ml sample from Twisted Lily, and I highly recommend using Twisted Lily as your sample, like how to try out samples, because they come really quick, and a lot of them come with the branded samples, so that's really nice. They do also decant some of the fragrances themselves, but I really enjoy using Twisted Lily. So anyways, I loved it. It's not what I expected. It does have vanilla in it, but it's just more fresh, and I think it's great for any time. I think this is actually signature scent worthy. I 100% think you should get your nose on this and try it out. Definitely something I'm very eager to add to my collection, and yeah, very excited to have at least the 5 ml to kind of hold me over. I actually wore it the other day and sprayed very generously and reapplied even, and I didn't even make that big of a dent. So I actually wore it twice last week, so I was very excited to have this. Okay, so the next fragrance is the Woody Sage from Dossier, and this is inspired by Jo Malone's Wood Sage and Sea Salt. If you had watched my last perfume haul video, you would have seen that I actually bought the Jo Malone Wood Sage and Sea Salt, and I've really been loving it, and I actually made quite a dent on it. Again, it was something that I put on my wish list to get a bigger bottle eventually, but I heard a lot of people talking about how this was an amazing dupe for it. So I did try it out, and I will say this is very, very good. dupe for it. I think if you're not willing to spend the money, 100% think you should get this one. I almost think it projects even more, but it's very close. So if you enjoy that fragrance, I think you can really enjoy this one as well. I do love the bottle of Jo Malone, the bigger one, and I don't know, I'm going back and forth. I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna really invest in the bigger bottle because I really do think this is a great dupe. So that is Woody Sage by Dossier. Just when you thought you were almost done, I completely forgot about all this travel sizes and a roller ball. So let me go through those right now. All right, so this one is a roller ball or like a perfume oil. And this is from Nest, and this is the Turkish Rose one. I actually bought this back in, I want to say June, but I forgot about it. It was in my bag when I did my last haul, so I'm going to include it in this one. And this has been great. A lot of people compare this to like Delina, which I don't know why. And then I think another comparison was Angel Nova by Mugler. And I think maybe that's a little bit closer, but they're not the same. I do think this is a great perfume oil for if you do love rose fragrances. So it was just something to have kind of amplify my rose fragrances or just to reapply when I'm out. So I do love this from Nest, and I do have the Madagascar vanilla as well, which I highly recommend. So but yeah, that is Turkish Rose. All right, so the next one is Clean Reserve Warm Cotton, and I picked up last haul Skin by Clean Reserve, and this one was the one that I left behind that day. I really liked this one, but I was just kind of like, I need more of a skin scent, not like a laundry detergent scent. But now that I have skin, I was just like, okay, now I can add Warm Cotton, which I love. I wore it on like a super hot day when I just didn't want to be bothered with wearing any kind of perfumes, and I just smelled so fresh and clean and like clean laundry. And I don't know, I think sometimes this is kind of necessary for that. I've even actually sprayed this on like my fresh linens when I've washed them just to kind of add another layer of freshness, and I really enjoyed it. I definitely want to get a full bottle of this to have for those type of occasions, and even to just use it as a room spray. Since it is a clean house, I do feel comfortable spraying it on my things and being around it, so I wouldn't be opposed to spraying it on my clothes and linen. So yeah, that is Warm Cotton by Clean Reserve. But this is Goldfield and Banks Pacific Rock Moss, and so I got the travel size to try out. I was able to get this, I think, for less than $30 because I was able to add like a coupon code to it on So Avant-Garde. Oh yeah, that was during their July 4th sale, so I was able to get this for 30% off actually. So I got a really good deal on it, and a lot of people are saying that this is comparable to Woods Agency Salt by Jo Malone, but no, I don't think so. They are not a dupe for each other. I don't think they're identical to each other. I think if you like one, you'll kind of like the other. But for me, I found this to be, it's beautiful. First of all, let me just say that it's such a beautiful scent. I absolutely adore it, but I did find it to lean a little bit more masculine, especially in the dry down for some reason. I think it opens up, and I really liked it. I thought it was fresh and unique, and I loved the quality of the scent. I think it smells very expensive, but for me on the dry down, it just got a little bit more heavy and masculine for me. So I went ahead and just gifted this to my brother, and he really likes it. I did keep a decant, so that's, the dent is not from him. The dent was actually for me because I took a decant of it just to have it and maybe revisit it, because I don't know, maybe it was just the time in which I sampled it. I just like to revisit things and then give a final say on it. But this is a beautiful scent, and I think if you're into unisex, you're gonna absolutely love this. So it is a beautiful scent, and I think you should get your nose on it. Okay, this is La Vie Est Belle by Lancome. So this is the travel size of that fragrance, and I picked this up just because I sampled it in Sephora and I really liked it, but didn't want to commit to a full bottle. But I thought it was nice to have it. You know, it is a classic perfume, and it's something that I'm kind of saving for more fall and winter, because I do feel like it's a little bit much for right now. And so yeah, I picked it up. I haven't gotten a lot of wears out of it. I think maybe 1 or 2 times at bedtime, just because I was still trying it out. But yeah, I just added this to my collection and excited to kind of get through it a little bit more. Alright, so the next one is by a brand called Brandt, and this is their new scent, Klea. So this is a newer fragrance house, I believe, and so they only have 2 fragrances in their line. Their first release, I believe, was just, I don't know, from the packaging and the note profile, I perceived it to be a little bit more masculine, but I think with this new release, it seemed a little bit more feminine, and I really like the note profile of it. Let me open it up for you guys. Okay, so here's the packaging of it. It's really pretty. Like, I love their packaging. I love their marketing. I think all of the imagery is really beautiful, but I have to say that I was disappointed by the fragrance. This obviously was a blind buy. I was able to get this for 25% off using a promo code, and so it was less than $30, I believe. So it wasn't a big loss, but I thought from the notes I would really like it. So for this one, I will say the notes. It is bergamot, mandarin, olive leaf in the top, magnolia, water lily, jasmine, and sea salt in the middle. And then the base says amber, Egyptian musk, tonka bean, cedarwood, and papyrus. So from the notes, I thought I would love this. If you guys have noticed, a lot of my fragrances have bergamot, they have mandarin, they have orange, you know, they have vetiver, cedarwood, all of those type of things, but I was honestly very disappointed. This, I think, came out more woody than anything. I really don't pick up much else. I think maybe I'll need to sit with it a little bit longer and give it an honest chance, honestly, but I'm not really feeling it. I don't know. I just don't really like it. It's not repulsive, but I don't know. No, there's too much wood. It's too woody for me personally. There's something, and maybe the musk is heavy too. I don't know. I'll have to report back to you guys on this one. This one is very exciting. I'm very, very excited about this one. This is the Black Opium Le Parfum. So this is the newest flanker to the Black Opium family. And I'm a fan of the original Black Opium. I actually, that was my signature scent for a very long time. I used to wear that in the evenings back in the day, and I love the DNA of it. I do think now, as I get older, it is sometimes a bit cloying and kind of headache inducing. So I was very happy to see people talking about this flanker and saying how it has a little bit of, you know, like gives homage to the original DNA, but it has more vanilla in it. So this is a very vanilla heavy fragrance, but I think it's done beautifully. And so I'm very, very happy to have this in my collection. So much so that when I got the travel, I went ahead and I got the big bottle. So I actually bought this off of Joma Shop. I got this from Sephora, and then I kind of sat with this for a while. Not a while, I think about a week. Within the week of buying this one, I had bought this one. So I was able to get like a good price for it on Joma Shop, and it is so beautiful. I cannot wait to wear this in the fall and winter. I do think it's suited more so for that, even though sometimes I wear it as a bedtime scent now, but that's just kind of me testing it out. I love it. I just can't stop smelling my arm when I have this on. So I'm very, very excited to wear this and have this in my collection probably for a very long time. I think this is definitely repurchase worthy. This one is the new Burberry Goddess perfume that recently came out, and I'm super excited about this. I actually went in to sample a few fragrances in Sephora the other day, and I had sprayed a good amount of this on my arm and my hand, and I just couldn't stop smelling it once I got home. So I actually went back the next day and purchased it. So I'm very, very happy. I've had it for about 3 days now, I think, and I've worn it 2 times. So it's really, really good. I got a few compliments from it, but again, I haven't worn it too much to tell you. But this is definitely a fresh vanilla, so it's very vanilla heavy, and I think I'll go more in depth on this one in a separate video, but it's really beautiful and I'm super excited to have it. So that is Burberry Goddess. Alright, so last but certainly not least, I think this is one of my absolute favorite new perfumes and pickups. This is Ambre Magique by Mizensir, and guys, first of all, the bottle is so gorgeous. It's so beautiful. I think this is one of my favorite bottles in my collection, and the scent is so beautiful. I had started with a sample size, then I got a decant, and I just could not go without this perfume in my collection. I was able to snag it for a great deal, I think either 20 or 30% off during July 4th from So Avant-Garde, and so I had to get it since it was on sale, and I'm so happy. I do think I'll be getting more use out of it in fall and winter. I don't see myself wearing it right now. It's just a little bit too hot. I've just been testing it out, you know, at home and stuff, but this is so spicy. It is like ambery, vanilla, has a hint of rose. It's blended so beautifully. I love it. It was love at first sniff. I think I was like captivated by it. So I'm excited to get some more use out of it, but I do find it to be for more like fancier occasions, evening occasions, and I do think I'm going to be using it more in fall and winter. So I definitely want to report back and give it its own kind of highlight on its own video, getting more in depth with the notes and how it wears and stuff, but absolutely my favorite pick in my new haul. Alright guys, that is the video. Thank you so much for watching my perfume haul this month. If you liked the video, please thumbs it up. If you have a comment, please leave that down below, whether it's what you want to see from me next or what you liked about this video. Also, leave me a comment about what you'll be wearing in the fall and winter. I'd love to know. Very curious about that. And please subscribe if you haven't. A lot of people who are watching my videos aren't subscribed, so I would genuinely appreciate if you guys subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.